Okay, inherit, add, or replace styles. And if you're following along with me, you might think this guy really doesn't like to style web pages. And actually, that's furthest from the truth. I actually love styling web pages, but I needed a set of tools that allowed me to get to that point because I can immerse myself in styling a web page like all day long and then forget that, like, oh yeah, we have to build the whole back end of this thing. And so that's really Flask Commands is to help me speed up that thing that I don't necessarily love doing. But I also love data, so I don't know that I don't love doing it. But I guess just to say, styling web pages is cool and we shouldn't forget about it. And I'm gonna make this will be like my only video on this, so it'll be a little bit of a deep dive into this, and hopefully this will explain some of the mystery of what's going on in the base, especially with this time.time thing. So let's look here. So let's go back here. You have three options, and we've said this before. You can bring in your style tag, and first of all, if you just leave the block out completely, you're going to inherit from base, and base has Tailwind already added into it. So if you don't do anything as far as putting a style tag in, you're going to inherit Tailwind by default. If you want, you could add your own additional styles by bringing in the styles block, and then don't forget super, and then put in your custom styles like this. Or you could completely override Tailwind, say, I don't want Tailwind on this page, and don't include super. Bring in your styles block, and then just put in your custom line there. Let me copy this one. So let's go over here, and I mean, it's nice to see it, but it's great to see it in action. So we'll come over here, we'll split the screen. This is I know we made about.html and we just keep editing index.html. But let's, because that's what's wired up. And so this is what we can see. So base.html, and I've kind of tinkered around a little bit with these minus signs to make things work out. But let's add in our style block. And so you probably will come in something like this. You'll go in and you will just add it in. Now remember, it doesn't really matter where you add it in because base, it knows where to put things in. So you just need to put the block in. And let's do this. Let's wipe it out completely. And so what that's going to do is it's going to say, here's my style block, and I don't want anything in it. So it will override bases, and you should remove all styling from here. And sure enough, see how the font changed. We got a little padding around. Now, if I want to bring back Tailwind, I just put in super. Okay. And my padding went away and my font kind of changed a little bit. Here, we'll bump this up. Oops, not that one, this one. Okay. And let's inspect just so we can see the source here. So let's suppose that we wanted our own, well, actually first, let me explain this and then we'll add our own. What is this doing? So this is adding a query parameter. See the question mark, v equals, and then a whole bunch of numbers, right? And if you refresh your page over here, you're gonna notice that these numbers will just keep changing. So it's ending in 151, now it's ending in 8036. So it's changing, which is telling the browser, hey, I have a new style sheet, and you don't necessarily, but anytime you're adding in a new, anytime you add in a new class from Tailwind, then what's going to happen in the background, because your terminal is running, it's going to recompile your Tailwind file, and it's going to be a new one. And if the browser thinks that it's the same one, then you're going to not see that update happen live. So a lot of words, but let's say I want green, like a light green background. So I'm going to do class equals, and then bg green 200. That is a Tailwind class, okay? And watch up here, we'll get like a change in my CSS file. And there's that light green. I should have, it's telling me I'm a liar, but it should, maybe I already had that one. Maybe if I do a yellow or purple. So right now I'm adding all these, and notice my Tailwind, my pages is changing. Should see that this is changing. So you're getting yellow. Oh, there. I guess you had to actually click on it, and now it's saying that it's updated. Okay, so we've got purple 200, and let's make it more apparent. We'll put it back to green. Okay. So and notice here all the things are lining up, because I put the minus signs in the base, so you didn't have to like try to figure out where to put the minus signs in, and I'll update the actual package so that it has it there. So, but let's suppose that I want to put in my own custom styles. So that was what this was about. Let's go back. We're down here. And let's grab this line right here. So we're going to add in this link tag, and that at first, and let's call it my style, my.css, because I haven't done that one, and I did another one in a prior video, so I don't want it to have cached the other one. So I'm going to do my.css, and I'm going to save that, and over here you're going to see this nasty red squiggly. It's because we don't have the my.css file. It's supposed to go in static. So under app statics, we'll create a new file. We'll call it my.css, and we'll save it. And we'll refresh the page, and now my.css is legitimately there. So if I go in, and let's see here. So we have Tailwind, and it's just updating itself. Let's redefine the background of green 200. That's a class. Let's redefine it to purple. And notice the order here, and the order is very important. So let's go, we're going to, in CSS, if you have a class and you want to target it, then you use a dot. If you have an ID that you want to target, I believe you use a pound there. It's been a while, been a minute since I've been dealing with just pure CSS, because I find pretty much everything I need is in Tailwind. But if you want your customs, you need to know how to target the different things, and it gets really involved in the way you can get to things. Okay, so this is class BG background green 200, and I'm going to make the background something really weird. I'm just going to call it purple. Okay, now watch what happens when I refresh the page. I get purple, and that's kind of weird, right? And so it's because what we've done here is we have redefined the value of the class BG green 200, and we've said if you see that class on a tag, give it its background color to be purple. Now, styling sheets are very specific on how you import them. What do I mean by that? So right now we have brought in Tailwind first and then our custom. If we flip that and we bring in our custom first and then Tailwind second, then Tailwind should win out. If our classes are named exactly the same, like, and everything's the same setup. And when I refresh the page, you actually don't see, we should see the green, that light green come back. And the reason we're not is because Tailwind does this thing of layering. So if you do layer utilities, this is a Tailwind thing. If you do that, then now they'll have the same precedence, and so whichever comes later will win out. And sure enough, because Tailwind comes after our styles, it wins out. If I switch it around, then our style wins out. But so you can kind of move these around now because they have exactly the same precedence as far as how they're layered, and whichever comes later, like our styling is doing the purpling and our style is turning it purple, and then the super Tailwind is bringing it back to the correct color green. So you have three options, right? You could like not put this in at all. Like that's option one. And in which case you're just gonna get Tailwind. Like you still keep your green color, right? Even though we don't have anything. Another option is to, option one is to not do anything. Option two is to bring in your own and just, well, I guess, let's see. Option one is to leave it alone. Option two is to keep Tailwind and add additional custom styling, but make sure you call super. So that's option two. And then option three is, hey, I don't want Tailwind at all. I just want my own stuff. And in that case, if I do this, I should remove all the Tailwind stuff, which means I'm going to lose some padding here, or I'm going to get some padding back, I mean. And my CSS file is going to turn that green back into this purple, even though I've called it green. So when I save here, watch what happens. See, I lose a lot there of the styling, and that's just completely overriding, losing Tailwind altogether. Okay, so those are the three options. Now, I do want to mention this time thing. We saw it in action here. Let's put back super. Okay. We saw it in action, and you're like, how in the world maybe is that happening? And this is called, it says a name, it's cache busting. So the browser is trying to keep this version of the style sheet. And honestly, I appreciate the browser for doing that, because more than likely my style sheet's not going to change that much, but as I'm developing, my style sheet changes. And so that's why I had to put this in the base.html, this time.time. It keeps this parameter changing every second. So anytime you make a change and the page reloads, you're just going to pick up that change automatically. Once you're happy, and if you get there, then you beat me for sure, because I almost feel like websites are never finished, right? Like we get to a point where we are like, okay, it's ready for deployment, and then okay, I can stop touching this for like a month now, right? And so when you get to that point, you could just change this to like version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. And anytime you change your style sheet, you need to come in here and remember to change this. I just never do that. I always end up leaving this as time.time. and that's forcing the browser to download my minimized Tailwind every single time. But if you want to optimize your web page, then the appropriate thing to do would be come in here and give this a number when you're to the point where you're done. If you do that, just remember, if you're not seeing live updates and you're thinking things are broken, you need to convert this back to time.time for development. But how is this thing getting time? Because if I go to my controller, I never passed in time into the controller. And that's really what you would need to do in order for this thing to work. And the reason that it's working and you're not having to pass in time is because of the way that we set up our app, our create app under init. You have this right here that I've actually highlighted. So you have app and then context processor and then def inject globals. And that provides to every Jinja template these things that are in this dictionary. So anytime you call time in a Jinja template, it knows to use the time, which is from import time, just using that time. And so time.time is just creating this series of numbers for you, which is apparently the time. So if you need another global variable injected into every single template, this is where you would add that here. And I have done that before. So like a logout form that I needed in every single template because it was in the navigation bar, I put it here. And then I had access to it in every single template. So that's how that worked. And that was a little bit of fun playing around with some style sheets. We'll go right back into the data and all the data flowing throughout the rest of the series. So I hope you had fun playing with style sheets, and I'll see you in the next video.